Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to the annual UNCA Management Advertising Competition. I think this is about our 8th year. Everyone is looking very good. And without further ado, I'd like to call on the first group to present their ad.
First off, I'd like to thank all of our judges for taking time out of your day to come and visit us here at UNC Asheville and take a look at all of our ads. My name's Samantha.
I'm Townsend.
I'm Jimmy.
And my name is Liz.
And we are here presenting a Asheville tourism ad for you. Come discover a better place to be in Asheville, North Carolina.
So, as we all know, Asheville has become a popular tourist destination over the past few years. Lonely Planet, one of the major European travel guidebook publishers, has picked Asheville as its top US destination for 2017. So compared to what this big foreign entity would recommend to do in a weekend, we wanted to give a local insight of things to explore.
We're marketing to the creatives, those who relish and enjoy learning and discovery, those who enjoy eccentric and vibrant locations, those who enjoy creativity and exploration, individuals that are open-minded, outdoor enthusiasts, art lovers, and explorers. We want them to explore both man-made and natural elements our town has to offer. Through some research and guidance of the Asheville Sales and Marketing Plan, we found the age range to direct our message to was between 25 and 54. What we wanted to do with our younger market segment is for them to develop a relationship with Asheville, and when they become more affluent, we want them to come back and spend money here.
So after narrowing this target market, we needed a message to captivate them. We wanted to capture the heart and soul of what Asheville means to us and portray this feeling all within 30 seconds. A place where there's always something wonderful to discover, whether it be beautiful mountain ranges or upbeat drum circles. So the lifestyle and personality of our target market led us to a message of discovery. This message is woven throughout and really helps to create a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere in order to encourage visitors to discover all that Asheville has to offer. And just one of the ways that we chose to really make this message resonate was to keep our traveler facing forward, so you never really see the face. We really wanted the connection to be made with the place around it and to avoid that connection with the person itself. So here to talk a little bit about some of our decision is Jimmy.
So I'll explain the commercial itself a bit more and how it helps to deliver our message. The basic storyline follows a traveler, who we'll conveniently refer to as Sam, as she spends the day discovering the city of Asheville. Sam is designed to resonate well with our target audience. From her clothing to her styling to not showing her face, the audience can almost picture themselves in her shoes going through Asheville on their own. We start the commercial by building context. We show the City of Asheville sign that is on a municipal building downtown where Sam's day starts. The shot then pans down to Sam, clearly new to Asheville, looking at the sign, and she then looks down, steps out into the bright morning light, and her adventure begins. At this point, the upbeat song picks up, which creates energy, and we show the City of Asheville logo at the bottom of the screen. This helps to first not forget where we are, and second, associate the town's name to these cool scenes that they're seeing. We decided to focus on locations that would be most appealing to our target audience. There's a trend that is moving away from going to typical attractions like breweries and the Biltmore. So we decided to focus on cool scenes that our target audience would really appreciate. This is places like the Good Vibes sign, the Glass Gallery, and interesting natural areas. Throughout the commercial, Sam also interacts with various people downtown, which in the commercial is everyone that she sees. This helps to convey a sense of friendliness and the warm, welcoming atmosphere of the city. We then show the Asheville's unique drum circle, which helps to reinforce that theme of warm, welcome environment, as well as give a glimpse of the vibrancy and energy of the nightlife in Asheville. Finally, we fade into a sunset time lapse to signify the end of the day. We then see the Asheville logo and exploreasheville.com, which is the best resource for a prospective traveler to find information. The voiceover that is "Come discover a better place to be in Asheville, North Carolina" is what we really use to request action from the audience. We felt that Asheville's slogan of "Discovery Inside and Out" didn't really do this well enough, so we blended it with the state of North Carolina slogan of "A better place to be" to really invite the viewer to Asheville. So with all this in mind, we would like to show you the commercial once more.
Come discover a better place to be in Asheville, North Carolina.
So we'll turn it over to the judges.
You said your target is 25 to 54?
54, yes,
That's
sir.
why that?
Well, some of that information came from the City of Asheville's marketing plan itself. These were the age ranges that they were specifically marketed to. And we have such a large range because it's really the younger part of the age range there we are hoping to build this connection with. So they continue to come and they bring their families here as they grow. And the older range, we're really kind of focusing on this eclectic personality, people that want to come and discover something new.
Okay. Do you envision this as part of a campaign?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it could really work on the Discovery platform. We didn't do any of the putting up all these national awards that Asheville has won as all these like top destinations. We decided we really wanted people to discover for themselves what Asheville means. So I really think this could be part of a campaign for discovery, Discover Asheville, and that really fits along with the tagline of Asheville tourism itself.
This would almost be more of an organic attraction to Asheville, of the place and not the typical
Got it.
attraction.
The tagline, a better place to be, Asheville, you created that?
That's an amalgamation of Asheville's slogan and North Carolina's slogan. So Asheville's slogan is Discovery Inside and Out, and North Carolina's slogan is A Better Place to Be.
But you created it.
We combined them.
That's creative, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Very good.
Little from here, little from here.
That's creative. Very good. That's it for a second.
Good. I like your ad very much. I would say the first word I wrote, my first word that I wrote down was exploring. It looked like the person was, so I like that part of it. However, I kept waiting, I would say to target to 54-year-olds and not show the Biltmore House is somehow tourism malpractice. Did you, was there a consensus on the group not to show this wonderful old house that the whole world comes to Asheville to see?
Part
Or
of
was
it is
that,
access.
was that a, all four voted not to show it, or was it two?
I'll just say that I think the range is to not disclude those the people that are older that enjoy and appreciate those other scenes, but we're definitely focusing on a younger generation to have them develop a relationship with Asheville, and eventually when they are the most financially viable group that is going to bring the most money to Asheville in the future, that's the group that will be, Asheville will be the place they go.
And that's not to say that these older generations don't also really enjoy an eclectic, vibrant scene and something a little different. Most of the tourism things for Asheville do include the Biltmore and do include a lot of different breweries. So we really wanted to give a different perspective. Where are some places that locals would go that might not be seen as much?
Like the drum circle.
Like the drum circle.
And I go to the drum circle, and I'm over 54. Just barely.
Yeah, I like it. And then one last question. Did you see it as competitive? Did you think you were competing against other locations for the tourist dollar or for travelers, or for, you were thinking we're going to differentiate ourselves somehow, or was this just about Asheville? Were you thinking?
A little of both. We really wanted to highlight this unique atmosphere that Asheville has and kind of give this call to action to come discover it. What's here to discover? What are all the different things that you can discover that you might not be able to find in a different town somewhere else, somewhere that's lacking that kind of uniqueness and vibrancy that Asheville really has to offer.
Man, Biltmore House didn't make the cut. Okay.
The Biltmore Company might have had a problem if they,
Yeah.
if they put the
None of
house
us
in there,
have
because they always have their
passes.
hand out for royalties.
Yeah.
The challenge, right?
I really liked it. Can you describe the casting and how you came up with a female explorer?
So we really wanted to resonate. It was more of a stylistic choice. We wanted to give this style purpose with the scarf and the hair and the outfit and everything that gives this eclectic, vibrant vibe, versus you don't have as many choices with men's clothing. And I know that sounds a little skewed there, but we really wanted to show a style, and we felt like that would work well there.
So I think what you've done is actually something really difficult to do. Something that's aspirational enough for a larger audience, but then at the same time can connect with a millennial audience, which is a cooler, hipper audience. And I personally found that having a female protagonist was very interesting, because explorer and female often doesn't go together, because you feel like that might be risky. And it made Asheville look safe and fun and easy. And I would imagine, I've seen commercials with couples that built more, and you know, that didn't look cool to me. So this was very cool.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christopher.
I'm Dean.
I'm Paula. And I'm Hannah, and for our public service announcement, we wanted to choose an important social issue that impacts everybody in this room, and at the same time is an issue that everybody in this room can take action on today.
Washing your hands for just 15 seconds with soap and water can reduce germs by 92%. Shockingly, only about 5% of people actually do it. Not washing doesn't only affect you. Statistically, you touch about 3 common objects per hour. Don't be afraid to take matters into your own hands. So wash thoroughly and wash often. Spread the word, not the germs.
A few Sundays ago, I was having brunch with my family when I went to the restroom. And inside that restroom, there was a person that walked out of a stall without washing his hands. He left right out the door. When I was leaving the restroom, I walked by his table where he was sitting with his friends, and they were all eating nachos. And the wildest thing to me occurred there is that there's a large social issue that's often overlooked, and it's something as minute and as simple as washing hands. So our mission with this PSA was to shed light on something that affects everyone on Earth. And it's been known that by washing hands, we could fight the spread of germs and disease, yet the majority of the population does not do this. So we also wanted to mention that before you go have your nachos, maybe you can come see our viral video through our viral humor.
And even if you're not about to share nachos with your friends, think about the common objects you may have touched coming into this room. The door handle, a chair, a friendly handshake, or even a touch on the shoulder. It only takes one person to spread millions of germs. And you don't have to touch anything directly either. Just when you think you're safe, keep in mind that germs can spread up to 6 feet from the lavatory. And in our advertisement, we mentioned that only 5% of the population washes their hands properly for 15 seconds or more. Thus, our target audience encompassed 95% of the U.S. population.
So typically with PSAs in regards to hand washing, a lot of them used fear tactics relating to the spread of germs. But as the CDC tells us, only 5% of people are actually washing their hands properly, which is for 15 seconds, showing that these are not effective. So we knew that we had a bit of an upward battle, and we'd really have to be creative in finding something that would grab the audience's attention and maintain it. So we decided to use humor for that. The tricky thing is we wanted to have humor, but we didn't want it to take away from the message. So we had to have a nice balance there, but have those key moments that were, again, viral, that you'd want to be sharing them with your friends, or that they would kind of come back into your mind of when you're at the sink the next time. It's like, oh, I remember that guy washing that other guy's hand, and maybe I should stay here a little bit longer. So that was sort of the intention, without taking away from the message and still getting relevant information out there. And we also wanted to create a positive association with hand washing rather than sort of a fear-based negative one that other PSAs currently do. In addition to creating that positive association with the humor that we used humor as an introduction to our call to action. Specifically, the scene where Dean is helping Chris wash his hands, we wanted to
we wanted to play up the awkwardness a little bit there because we know that it's not comfortable when you see somebody who's not washing their hands properly. We wanted to encourage our audience to feel comfortable sharing the information that they just learned through our advertisement. And we wanted to make sure that they have information to share to begin with. So by showing Dean taking action in the restroom, in addition to that spread of information, we encourage our audience and develop a sense of responsibility for their hand washing habits, as well as encouraging others to take the proper hand washing habits as well.
So that we hope that we could spark a conversation about hand washing, something that's memorable. Spread the word, not the germs.
With that being said, we'd like to show you the ad one more time.
Washing your hands for just 15 seconds with soap and water can reduce germs by 92%. Shockingly, only about 5% of people actually do it. Not washing doesn't only affect you. Statistically, you touch about 3 common objects per hour. Don't be afraid to take matters into your own hands. So wash thoroughly and wash often. Spread the word, not the germs.
I'll start this time. So when you had a choice of thinking of 2 men or a mother and a child, all those different combinations, and a bathroom, was there anything political in your video that's inferred or not inferred, or do you think?
We did not want to create any political agenda with our advertisement. Instead, we wanted to present a common and familiar situation where people may be presented with somebody who is not washing their hands properly. We just wanted to make it as relatable as possible and as accessible as possible without any underlying tones there.
And then in so doing, eliciting an emotional response about something that would feel out of the ordinary, that's where we want to capture a surprise, even to give a surprise, to create a memorable moment, so that the viewer is left with a sense of at least wonderment for what they've just witnessed. And in so doing, referring to and remembering that there was hand washing actions being taken.
I really like the tagline, and I thought that the POVs in the video, especially the mirror where you're looking, and then sort of like changing the roles, was very effective. And I did find it had edginess that maybe wasn't intended, but that was actually controversial and made the point stick.
Good. I think it was a good ad and a good message. I wondered, did you think about because you were quoting some statistics, did you think about putting those statistics up?
We did. That actually came up, but we found that you'd be distracted watching that. We were sort of confined to 30 seconds so that your eye would be drawn there and you actually wouldn't be following the story. So we thought that took away from it. So we thought it would be more impactful to just hear that and actually pay attention. And we kind of consider this is a video that a lot of people watch over again because it is kind of like awkward, like, hey, like what just happened? Like I want to see that again. So they are still getting that.
We did.
Yeah.
We decided against it. We felt like it would just overall detract from the message.
Through some of our pre-testing as well, we kind of thought about the situation and realized that what we wanted to do is sort of create a narrative, but through this video, in the sense of a reverse S to sort of keep the eye flowing, ultimately from the action to the logo. So it was definitely thought about.
I got a little bit confused. Were you trying to tell me to wash my own hands, or should I approach?
Trying to spark a conversation just about the idea of hand washing itself.
We also wanted to create a memorable moment, so next time you may be in a situation that calls for washing your hands, perhaps you'll think of the video and you'll remember a statistic or two, and if you see somebody else, it may make you feel more comfortable sharing that information with the person next to you. We don't expect anybody to go touch a stranger without their permission. Please don't go wash anybody's hands in the
Not after
restroom.
brunch,
And we just wanted to create a sense of responsibility. And
Confused what it was. That was the only little thing that we watched it again. I didn't know if were you telling me to wash my hands, or I should tell other people to wash my hands?
A little bit of both.
Right. Well, it's mainly for you to wash your hands, but because it's intended to be a viral video, like for example, we've shown it to a lot of our friends, and I've even gotten messages of like, "Hey, I washed my hands today." So it's like it's reinforcing that positive behavior because it's like a comical thing to share. There's even some of our classmates that were like, "Hey, like we're doing it the right way." So it's just kind of like reinforcing like that behavior within yourself, but also sharing the message in general.
The first word I wrote down was logical. You made it logical case why you should wash your hands. So I think that was potentially shared.
Thank you.
Your tagline came up yourselves with that? Very good.
Yes. Mhm.
Creative. Very simple story. Real benefit. Resonated with the viewpoint that you presented. I heard the word comfortable. Did you think about doing shocking?
As Paula mentioned in her section, we found that most hand washing advertisements and advertisements about germs use fear-based tactics, where they throw statistics at you that may make you fearful of germs. Instead, we wanted to show that it's a common issue in everyday life, even outside of the doctor's office. And when you may be surprised to find how many situations in which you need to wash your hands.
Well, there's certainly enough television commercials on with irritable bowel syndrome things and mucus things out there. So I was just questioning what your thought pattern was behind your creative approach
Well,
to
the whole
your...
point is this is so far out of the box, it's so different from those. So rather than still kind of following in that thread, this is like out of the ordinary, even compared to those, which were supposed to be out of the ordinary.
When we got the information from the CDC that said that 95% of the population still doesn't wash their hands, we figured that whatever PSAs previously existed were obviously not working. So we wanted to take a different approach than we did with this PSA here.
Thank you.
Hey, thank
Thank
you.
you.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlin Malloy. This is Lean Rates, Rebecca Alexander, and Ben Eisdorfer. Today we have created an ad for you in conjunction with the nonprofit group Our Voice to address the misconceptions about sexual assault.
50% of victims are blamed for their sexual assault. It's our responsibility to stand up to the misconceptions.
Her clothes are not your excuse.
Her vulnerability is not your opportunity.
Their sexuality is not your right. They said it couldn't happen to him.
No one ever asks for this.
It's our voice.
Every 98 seconds, an individual is sexually assaulted. Due to that fact, the nonprofit organization Our Voice asked us to focus on a topic to bring awareness and create a call to action rather than highlighting and focusing on what the facilities Our Voice actually has to offer. That is why our advertisement takes a PSA format. The call to action created after viewing our ad is for people to go out into the world and speak out on the misconceptions of sexual assault and to begin a conversation in hopes of breaking down the stereotypes that surround it. Upon completion of our ad, we actually showed our advertisement to the executive director of Our Voice, who then asked us for permission to use it on their social marketing campaigns. So to further explain why we chose the topic of misconceptions on sexual assault, here's Caitlin.
So 60% of sexual assault is never reported to the police. This is partly due to the negative stigmas surrounding sexual assault and the victims' fear that they will be further scrutinized upon their report. Questions that victims can be asked are things like what they were wearing at the time of their attack, how they were acting towards their assaulter, and even how much they had to drink. But these questions aren't just limited to the authority. Friends and family also second-guess the legitimacy of an attack. For these reasons, our group, as well as the nonprofit Our Voice, felt it was more important to address the issues of misconceptions surrounding sexual assault instead of creating an advertisement talking about the prevention. Many sexual assault ads currently out there talk about how you yourself can prevent from being a victim or how you as a bystander can prevent sexual assault from happening. But the unfortunate truth is, sexual assault is not a one-time event. Victims often relive their trauma indefinitely. And now to talk about our target market and who our ad is specifically geared toward is Rebecca.
Research shows that 11.2% of college students will experience some form of sexual assault. That being said, my group and I found it significant that our target market be college-age students, so people ranging typically from the age of 18 to mid-20s. We also wanted a diverse cast to represent the idea that sexual assault does not discriminate. It can happen to anyone. We wanted our cast to represent our target market to inspire our audience to take a stand against sexual assault and to begin the conversations to break down the misconceptions that come along with it. And now to talk about the symbolism within our ad is Ben.
There's actually quite a bit of symbolism in our ad. From the camera angle being directly on the spokesperson's face to make the message more personal, to the white background as well as the white lights to create a focal point on the message. We all decided to wear black shirts not to detract from the message itself. We had bunker sound productions create the music to complement the message and not take away from it. It was important to us to represent all diversity. So we had different race as well as different genders and a member from the LGBTQ community to represent this. At the end, you can see the ad shudder through all of our faces. This is to represent that we may be diverse, but we are unified with this issue. Now, at the very end of the ad, our spokeswoman steps up and takes a walk out of the camera angle. This is to show that we are done with the misconceptions of sexual assault, and it is time to tackle the real issue at hand here, sexual assault. Now, with all that in mind, please view our ad one more time.
50% of victims are blamed for their sexual assault. It's our responsibility to stand up to the misconceptions.
Her clothes are not your excuse.
Her vulnerability is not your opportunity.
Their sexuality is not your right. They said it couldn't happen to him.
No one ever asks for this.
It's our voice.
First off, thanks for taking on a very difficult subject matter. And you certainly put a very compelling message together. No two ways about that. And the symbolism that you brought into the message was creatively done and very, very direct. The music totally complemented and was chosen very wisely, totally complemented the presentation. Your product here, your message, I found very much integrated into the whole storyline. And I can see line extensions of this campaign into a campaign very easily. Target market, right on. And the last letting the music play over the last black slide, very creative.
Thank you.
Well done.
It's a very powerful ad, I think so. The first word I wrote down was compelling. So I thought it was very powerful, very good message. I don't know, as soon as the ad's over and you sent the message and I couldn't take my eyes off it. And then as soon as you started to speak, you talked about some statistics. Every 98 seconds, there's an assault. Did you think about bringing some of those statistics into your ad, or did you just, was there?
So
why did you exclude those numbers, which are also compelling, I think?
So our ad, the purpose of our ad is to address the misconceptions around sexual assault. So everyone's line we took, these are actually questions that victims have been asked upon reporting their sexual assault, and we felt that the statistics, while they were powerful, we wanted to focus on really the misconceptions, and there isn't really. You hear the first statistic in the first line, 50% of victims are blamed for their sexual assault. And we felt if we put too many statistics in the ad, it would just muddle the message and you wouldn't be able to focus on the actual lines themselves and really be able to resonate with the actors on the screen.
So that was a conscious decision?
Yes.
Well, again, I appreciate you taking on such a tough subject, and it passed the goosebump test twice.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaron Edwards. This is Travis Newman, Hugo Gutierrez, and Matt Gorga. We decided to do our advertisement on recycling, and here it is. We decided that for our advertisement, we wanted to make a public service announcement for recycling to serve as a reminder, because without recycling, there could be detrimental consequences. The average person generates 4 pounds of trash each day and up to 1.5 tons of trash each year. The EPA states that 75% of the American waste stream is recyclable, but we only recycle about 30% of that. Recycling is also good for the economy and the environment. Recycling is a $200 billion industry and can generate up to 7 to 10 more jobs each year that landfills usually take away. Also, recycling conserves infinite resources, conserves fresh water up to 95%, and also significantly reduces fossil fuel energy and reduces CO2 emissions. We, as the United States, desperately need this mission. Although we make up 5% of the world population, we lead the nation, we lead the world in the most waste produced by a country. And here's Travis with a few more words.
When deciding how we wanted to approach the topic of recycling, an idea that we had learned about this semester came to us. Keep it simple. Bob Garfield, an advertising guru, talks explicitly about not overcomplicating the message. Originally, we had grandiose ideas for a commercial with complex meaning and many intricate shots. Due to our limited abilities and time constraints, we realized that this would have resulted in a lesser quality commercial. The appeal of our commercial is it caters to a broad market. Any person can relate with the simple choice of throwing a bottle into one bin as opposed to another. Our primary focus, as Aaron mentioned, was to create a commercial that acts as a reminder to not only recycle, but that it doesn't have to be a difficult decision. Our slogan, "Think outside the trash, recycle," we felt was a perfect fit. As you just watched in our commercial, Aaron is coming out of the trash can to prompt the other individual, Matt, to rethink his decision. By creating a feeling of amusement during this encounter, we wanted to form an association with recycling as being fun. Think outside the trash resembles another popular slogan, "Think outside the box," and both represent a similar message. We thought that with the closeness of the two slogans, that it would make our slogan easier for people to remember and recall, but with our intended message. And now Matt.
Thanks, Travis. So if you didn't catch it in the first viewing, you will notice that we stripped the label off the water bottle. We did that purposefully. It's part of along the lines of keeping things simple. We didn't want this to be confused as some like Aquafina or Dasani commercial. We also intended there be nothing too fancy in terms of the runner's attire. Again, to avoid anything that may overpower the simple message, which is just to recycle. The incorporation of the two dogs in our commercial is purposeful in that they help create the story. The character walking his dogs, stopping for his last few gulps of water before he decides to throw his plastic bottle into a trash can. And this allows, I think, many viewers to easily identify with that situation. And that's kind of what we were going for, and it potentially makes our commercial more memorable to people that like animals or dogs. So there's that. Lastly, I would like to comment on the original music we chose. I actually created it using a music production software called Logic, and opted to go for just a simple jazzy drum set beat, some shakers, a bass line, and an organ, and synchronize the track to specific instances. That way we can have some sort of dramatic effect, especially when the character comes out of the trash can. And the idea was to create an instrumental track that would move the commercial forward, but not overpower the message. Again, trying to keep that simplicity as the key, with a few additional, humorous quirks to stand out from the clutter. So with that, you go.
Thank you, Matt. If you notice, during our commercial, we made sure to incorporate something blue in almost every scene to include our closing slides. This was done purposely because we wanted to associate this color with recycling. So whether a person could see the recycling symbol on the side of the bin or not, they would instantly know what it was by color alone. This is also why we chose to use the EPA website as our resource for our audience to obtain further information. This website offers a vast amount of information about recycling to people who live all across the U.S. and information specific to different regions. The EPA's website's purpose is to ensure that all parts of society, communities, individuals, businesses, state, local, and tribal governments have access to accurate information sufficient to effectively participate in managing human health and environmental risks. Now that you have a deeper understanding of the concept of our commercial, let's watch it one more time.
The use of humor can be a two-edged sword sometimes, but congratulations on using it effectively in a very simple story. It is an attention getter. It was entertaining, using music, the character, and the creative approach to it. The one question I would have for you, why didn't you use the doggy poop bags more prominently?
Excuse me?
when the character...
Oh, like the poop bags to say, like, okay, don't throw them in...
Yeah, they're
Okay.
recycled just like anything else.
Yeah.
And having dogs myself, I'm well aware of that.
That would be, yeah, that would be an interesting way to go with it.
Just a random thought, because you had two dogs there. and
Right, right. It's
And those of you who have been downtown Asheville and
Oh, yeah.
had to do the French two-step around.
Yeah, absolutely.
True. It's an interesting idea. It was not something that we had thought about at the beginning. If we had, that would have been a neat premise to go on. But as with any commercial, there's multiple ways that can go with it. We thought the execution of this with the resources and the ability of what we had at the time, that this was probably our best course of action for the moment, just to be able to get our thought across. But that's a great idea for if we were to continue with another commercial to follow this up for something.
Yeah, that'd be another great PSA, because I agree that is definitely necessary, especially at my apartment complex. So.
Okay, I thought it was a really good ad. I wrote down, the first word I wrote down was fun. And I think that was the objective. I think that as it's basically a reminder, I think, to people. I thought the music fit perfectly, and I appreciated the explanation on that one. I liked the guy. I saw it the first time, and I looked for it again. I guess it's a purposeful shrug. The guy just said, well, no big deal. I can throw it in here just as easy I can throw it in here. I think that was the little message there. I don't know, guys, did you make it too simple? I mean, why should I recycle? Because some big guy's going to come out of the garbage can. Did you go too far in your simplicity? Couldn't you have... Well, come on, guys, let's recycle and let's do this thing and make the world a better place, as opposed to some guy coming out of the garbage can. Did you go too far in your simplicity?
I think you make a good point. The one thing I would say though is that with like a lot of the public service announcements that we've seen today and that we see on TV all the time, a lot of times they take a very abrupt approach with throwing all kinds of statistics, or if you don't do this, this is the ultimate doomsday kind of result. And I think sometimes people get so overwhelmed with those kind of messages that they just tune them out. So we wanted to provide something that would be kind of fun, light, and would hopefully draw them into this, so that they would at least be like, oh, okay, recycling's not that big, not that big a deal. It's something easy I can do just in my day-to-day life, instead of trying to bombard them with doom and gloom and things of that nature. So it could be viewed as overly simple, but I think it also brings a overly light message to the situation to try to put a spin on the typical ads that you see for this kind of topic.
Okay, good, thanks.
Are there any statistics around whether men are better or worse recyclers?
No. I mean, when I was doing the research for the statistics that I presented, I didn't go gender-based. I just went nation as a whole, just so it can incorporate everybody and not just put a stigma on anybody. So there could be, but I just went for a nation as a whole, and that's why towards the end I very narrowed it down to us, that we only make up 5% of the world population, but yet we lead all other countries in just waste that's not recycled.
I also agree. I found it amusing and fun. I don't know if this generation knows Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street, but it was kind of like, instead of a grouch inside, it was actually the good guy was inside the garbage. And I thought it was interesting to have a man who looks somewhat domesticated with dogs. So, maybe he's supposed to know, but he still does it wrong.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. The shrug kind of bothered me. I kind of felt that was a little bit like, oh, whatever. So I read it exactly the opposite of you. I kind of maybe wanted the shrug to be more like an acknowledgement of, oh, yeah, okay, cool, dude. But it felt a little bit defensive. That was just how I took it.
Okay. And we had thought about that, but there again, with anything you put into a message, depending on who's seeing it and what context or what frame of mind they're in, may see it differently than the other person sitting beside them. So it is one of those things where it's kind of like the first judge said, humor can kind of be a two-edged sword, so can certain mannerisms that you may not think of on a daily basis in just everyday life.
Basically, what he's saying is my professional acting experience is limited. That's what he's saying.
Well, the bottle roll
Well
was
said.
really well played, so it's all good.
Very good.
Thank you.
So, good afternoon. My name is Shane Surratt, and these are my team members, Randy Fawcett, Edwin Rubio, and Tara James. We had the honor and the pleasure of working with our client, Mamie Adams, and the organization ELIDA. Their mission is helping children succeed. We would love for you to see our commercial.
People always want to know what a foster parent looks like, and there is no one answer. Foster parents are artists, bank managers, mechanics, soccer moms, empty nesters, retirees, all with busy, full lives. They're married or single. They're in their late 20s through early 80s. Their one commonality is they have a safe and loving home and are willing to make room for a child in need. Foster parents have lives just like yours. So what does a foster parent look like? You.
ELIDA has a very rich history here in Buncombe County dating back to 1903 as a home for unwed mothers and later becoming an orphanage. Most recently, they shifted into a more family-oriented residential care facility, which includes foster care services for children. In this commercial, ELIDA wanted to demonstrate that their target market is, as stated in the monologue, anyone with a safe and loving home willing to help a child in need. They wanted to break down cliches about who foster parents are, stereotypes that assume that they are in it for the money, or that the children that are in their care, they view them as less than. ELIDA felt it was time for more important messages of how foster parents give their hearts to the children that they take care of, and how they want to take children that feel unloved and turn them into children that feel loved and supported. How day by day they do this by supporting the children that they take in, knowing that one day they might actually have to give those children back to their biological parents. We collaborated as a team, along with ELIDA's staff, and decided the best way to visually demonstrate this would be to showcase the foster parents or people that might become foster parents. A single business professional with her 2 dogs, because dogs are family members too. This family has fostered 19 teenagers. Randy and her boyfriend Jeff, with all of his tattoos, which are visible on his neck. A retired couple who has fostered children for the last 30 years. A couple that can't have children of their own, but they brought their foster child to the filming, and he wasn't able to be in the commercial because of HIPAA regulations. A family of 5 that's currently taking classes at ELIDA to become a therapeutic foster family. A single woman on her own. A lesbian couple who actually adopted their foster child. Now the little boy is their son. A soccer mom, me and my family. And now for more details about our planning process, I'm going to hand things over to my associate Edwin.
So our initial process with the project, we initially wanted to go with the child eventually going into the foster system. So we were going to have cliche situations where the child was alone and lived in a troubled home. But when we met with Mamie, our representative for ELIDA, she wanted to focus on the positive aspects of ELIDA and the people who bring positivity to these kids. So we decided to focus more on who would foster the children. So our main objective was to show that a person can foster a child even if they feel as if they're not a typical foster parent or they don't feel as if they're qualified enough to do it. So with this commercial, we showed that ELIDA will assist anybody who's willing to take in a foster child into their loving home. So that is essentially our call to action. If you're willing or wanting to foster a child, ELIDA Home will assist you. And I will take it back to Tara.
So we hope to have demonstrated that Elida does not discriminate by showing, regardless of what your career is or your hobbies, if you're single, married, or already have a family, regardless of your race, your religion, or your sexual orientation, you can be a foster parent. You can foster a child. And now we'd like to show you our commercial again.
People always want to know what a foster parent looks like, and there is no one answer. Foster parents are artists, bank managers, mechanics, soccer moms, empty nesters, retirees, all with busy full lives. They're married or single. They're in their late 20s through early 80s. Their one commonality is they have a safe and loving home and are willing to make room for a child in need. Foster parents have lives just like yours. So what does a foster parent look like? You.
But yesterday I babysat an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my kids are really grown up, and I was like, never again. And I actually felt so much emotion around like what it means to give that aspect of yourself. And you know, seeing it like that, I've never seen anything on this subject that is so compelling and really touches on the opportunity that's there for everyone. That's really, really touching.
Thank you.
I guess I thought it was really good. I think the first word I wrote down was need. I guess the objective was recruiting. You're recruiting people to be foster. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Is there a shortage now of foster parents?
Yes, sir.
In Buncombe County?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you mention that? You know, why didn't we say there's a 20% gap, or there's 50 children right now looking for foster parents, or why didn't you? I'm just asking, did you think about that and decided not to do it, or?
Well, our client, they wanted to keep the message positive, and so they were afraid that if we said anything like that it might take away from the positivity. They didn't want to discourage anyone that might be thinking about reaching out, and then they could ask them those questions. They were afraid that if we brought a message like that in, it might put a question in people's mind about why don't more people foster a child?
Okay, I buy
and that
that.
it, yeah.
I buy that. I thought it was very compelling, and I thought your speech afterward was even more compelling.
Thank you.
Just as feedback. So.
Very, very arresting, creative, straightforward message, but a loving message, showing the diversity of demographics and psychographics here in the community, which is what you wanted to get across. Very important. And informative, informing. I found the staging, the simple staging, to be very supportive of the entire presentation. Simple bench, a couple of flowers, plain backdrop. You focus right onto the characters. Therefore, the diversity of demographics and psychographics pops out at you.
Yes,
Well
sir.
done.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Kylie Shipley. This is Hunter Hall, Katie Gamble, and Peter Lee. And we did our commercial on the Asheville Humane Society, so we'll go ahead and show it to you. So for our commercial, we decided to take a more playful approach rather than a fear-based approach like most shelter dog commercials that you see nowadays. Our target audience was definitely like young adult to about 30 years old, coming out of college, trying to start a family, possibly adopting a shelter dog. For the words, we tried to use different aspects of dogs and what they can do for you rather than just making you feel guilty to adopt a dog, showing you what they can offer to your family and you. The dog we used is actually a Border Collie mix. It is a shelter dog that was adopted in Tennessee by one of our friends. We put the logo in the right-hand corner to just put like a subconscious reminder of what the ad was for. We wanted it to be subtle, not too in your face. And then we used the URL at the end so that you could look it up, because being such a young target audience, we knew that they would be able to Google Asheville Humane Society and know how to get into contact with that. We didn't need a phone number or an address. Rather, we knew they'd be pretty tech savvy.
So for our filming and post-production, we decided to go with an outside setting, as you saw, bright, energetic. We basically just let a puppy go outside and run around and filmed it in its, natural habitat, doing what it likes to do. So we decided to go with a text overlay as opposed to a voiceover, because we felt that this was another way to add personality to our video. By showing these different words and animating them, it adds more creativity and fun, and you can really get the personality of adopting a shelter animal. So we added the green and purple text to the words, because these are the colors that Asheville Humane Society uses for all of their print sponsorships, their online media. So we thought it would be a really great way to tie in our ad with the things that they use outside. So the Humane Society is a really great place. It's a positive experience to adopt a pet. Me and my roommate actually just adopted one about a month ago, and it was a really positive experience. They were super helpful and willing to help us find an animal that suited us. And in 2014, they were able to rescue over 6,000 animals, either through finding new homes, rescuing them off the streets, or reuniting lost pets with their families. So our call to action to you would be to adopt a shelter pet and add a little bit more color to your life. So here is our commercial again.
It made me smile. As a member of the Leadership Council for the Asheville Humane Society, thank you. And as an adopter of several pets, both my dogs, from there, it resonates with me personally, obviously. I found that your playful approach was well executed. The text overlay versus using voice kept the message very much focused right on to what you were trying to accomplish. The symbolism came through, the use of the logo was excellent, the benefits of owning a pet through this methodology was apparent. Your product, the Asheville Humane Society, totally integrated into the creative, bringing it up at the end. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good. I thought it was really good. I'm a sucker for dogs too, so that's how it is. The word I wrote down was play, and that looked like a fun commercial. The music was perfect, light, fun to see. I don't know. The only thing maybe I could just have added, and I thought you could have closed with something, add some fun to your life, or add some playfulness to your life, or add some love to your life. So something like this. I would have had maybe a tagline before you showed the Asheville Center. I would have maybe added something there. Did you think about that? Like one?
We were hoping that that I am a best friend at the very end would just kind of tie it in together, because everything was kind of leading up towards that. Because we had playful, we had the other words kind of added to it. So we thought that was the best word to choose.
Okay, that's just my little addition.
They always say puppies and babies. So you had a baby puppy. It's really perfect. I have 6 rescues, so love the idea. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a great social campaign and maybe not as much a television campaign. I could see each one of those shots with the text overlay as a meme, and that really worked for me. I mean, it kind of like helped me segment it into all those concepts, and I think for that demographic, it's great because, you guys have an attention span that's like that. And it was schmaltzy and cute and all that, but it wasn't tacky. It was just like sweet, very sweet. Yeah, I liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So what's going to happen next is we're going to ask you to leave the room in a second, and the judges will get together and discuss. But I want to make a few comments first of all. One of the great joys of being a teacher is to see your progression through the years. And I think you all know how I grade your essays. And I would say that today there'd be quite a number of 11s out of 10s. Well done. The way that I've seen you progress and improve in terms of your presentation has been remarkable. I'm really proud of you, and you should all give yourself a round of applause for that. Now, all of you are aware that we're trying to start a mentorship program, and I have sent you emails with the questionnaire for those of you who indicated some interest in it. Bill here and Laura are both involved in that, so if you want to hang around and perhaps ask them questions, they don't have a lot of time, but if you want to ask them some questions about that, I think it would be a good way to start networking. Okay? Pardon? After they, yes, after they've deliberated. I'd like to thank the members of the advisory board. We're really proud to have a really great advisory board this year, and I want to thank them for giving up their time to be judges here. So if we can give them a round of applause, please. Thank you very much. I'm sure you've all seen this. Okay, this is what we're playing for, and the names will go right here, and this will be forever displayed in the glass case as long as I'm here. Who knows how long that will be. Okay, at this moment then, if you could just leave the room and give us a chance for the judges to deliberate. I'm only here to answer their questions. I'm not here to be one of the judges. Thank you. Welcome back. Everyone in? So, you've had me for 4 years. You know my philosophy is not everyone gets a trophy. In third place, we have Our Voice. Runners-up were the Asheville Humane Society. And the winners, whose names will be put here, are Elida. Come on up here. So face the camera. Have a picture of me congratulating Tara. Tara with the trophy. Thank you. And everyone puts their arms around everyone. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you once again. No. As one student said to me after the first semifinal, the bar has been raised. You guys, as two classes, did a wonderful job this year, and I'm really proud of you. And thank you very much. And I'll see you for the exam.